Ever wonder why your job is the way it is? Why some workplaces feel like they're all about the numbers, while others are obsessed with team culture? Well, it turns out the reasons aren't new at all. They're actually part of a hidden history, a struggle that's been going on for over 100 years, and it has shaped every single office, factory, and meeting you've ever been in. Okay, let's get into it.
What we're going to do is explore this huge battle that's been raging for more than a century. And it's not really about products or profits. It's a fight for the very soul of the workplace. And once you understand it, it gives you a totally new way to look at your own career.
Just think about your own career for a second. I bet you've felt this. That feeling of being just a cog in a giant machine, where your every single move is timed and measured. But then, maybe you've also been on a team that felt more like a family, where your passion was the most important asset. Well, those two exact feelings, they're at the very heart of this entire story.
And this slide just breaks down that core conflict perfectly. See, you've got two sides of the same coin. On one side, what the experts call the things of production. We're talking pure efficiency, workflow systems, control, profits. Then on the other side, you've got the humanity of production, which is all about what makes us human, right? Our motivation, our engagement, our needs. This constant tug-of-war is the engine that has been driving management thinking for generations.
So where did this whole thing kick off? For that, we've got to go back, way back, to the dawn of the industrial age. This was a time of just massive, unbelievable change. And with that change came a brand new, massive problem that needed a radical solution.
I mean, just try to picture it. Enormous factories are popping up everywhere, filled with thousands of workers. A lot of them are new immigrants who don't even speak the same language. It was just pure chaos. So for the very first time, this new class of people, the professional managers, had to figure out, okay, how on earth do we coordinate and control all these people to actually get anything done?
And this was their answer, the Ford assembly line. It is the ultimate symbol of this new way of thinking, what we now call the classical perspective. The whole goal was to build an organization that worked like a perfect, efficient machine. And you know what? It worked like a charm. A brand new car rolling off the line every 10 seconds, that was an absolute miracle of productivity back then.
Now, the theory that powered this whole machine-like approach was called scientific management. The idea behind it was simple, but kind of revolutionary for the time. Stop relying on tradition, on guesswork, on just the way we've always done things. Instead, you study work like a science to find the single one best way to do any given job.
This quote from Frederick Winslow Taylor, the father of scientific management, just says it all. He truly believed you could re-engineer workers just like you'd re-engineer a machine, calibrating them for maximum output. For him, management wasn't some soft, fuzzy art. Nope, it was a straight-up engineering problem you could solve.
So the big question is, did it actually work? Oh yeah, big time. Look at this number, 47.5 tons. That's how much steel a single worker could load in one day at Bethlehem Steel after Taylor applied his methods. Before he showed up, the average was just 12.5 tons. That's a nearly 300% increase in productivity. You just couldn't argue with those results.
But, and it's a big but, it came at a cost. This approach made some huge contributions, for sure. It showed how important performance-based pay was and how crucial careful training could be. But its blind spots were massive. It completely ignored the social side of work and treated workers like they were uninformed and have no ideas of their own. And since people aren't machines, this intense focus on efficiency was basically setting the stage for a powerful backlash.
I mean, you can only treat people like cogs in a machine for so long before they push back, right? An inevitable reaction was coming, and it was one that would swing that big pendulum from the things of production all the way back over to the humanity of production.
And sure enough, by the 1920s, you start to see what historians call a minor rebellion. People were starting to question this obsession with pure, cold efficiency. A new movement started arguing that there was another path to productivity, one that actually focused on people.
This quote from Mary Parker Follett, who is a real pioneer of this new way of thinking, just captures the shift perfectly. Don't hug your blueprints. Her message was simple. Leadership isn't about engineering techniques. It's about people. She was essentially telling managers to look up from their charts and focus on the human beings actually doing the work.
And this way of thinking led to what we now call the humanistic perspective. The focus completely shifted to understanding what actually motivates people. It was this huge recognition that workplaces aren't just assembly lines. They're complex social systems full of human behaviors, needs, and attitudes that you simply cannot ignore.
A key breakthrough here was the idea of the informal organization.
A thinker named Chester Barnard pointed out that alongside the official org chart that everybody sees, there's this other, invisible structure made up of friendships, cliques, and social networks. And this informal network, it has immense power. And this picture illustrates what he meant perfectly. This photo shows a worker initiation back in 1914. I guarantee you that ritual was not in any company manual. It was part of the informal organization's culture. And Bernard's big point was that smart managers don't try to fight these forces. They understand them, and they work with them.
Okay, so we've got these two powerful competing forces, the machine-like push for efficiency and the human-centric focus on motivation. But here's the key thing. This isn't just some ancient history. This exact battle is happening right now in almost every company on the planet.
This timeline shows how management thinking kept evolving. It moved through different phases, like the contingency view, which is basically the idea that the best management style depends on the situation. But even so, that original tension never went away. You can draw a straight line from that early classical focus on things all the way to today's focus on a people-driven workplace. The core struggle is still the same. And you can see this playing out today. On the machine side, you've got supermarkets that use computer systems to time every single task a cashier does. That's pure, modern-day scientific management. And then on the human side, you've got companies like Zappos experimenting with holacracy, a radical system with no managers at all, empowering employees to manage themselves. The battle is very, very much alive.
So, after this quick zip through a century of management history, we have to ask the most important question of all. Why does any of this matter to you right now, today?
Because once you see this historical tension, you can never unsee it. It's like a powerful new lens for you to understand your own workplace. Is your boss pushing a new performance metric? That's the machine. Is the company suddenly talking all about employee engagement? That's the human side. You can finally see the forces at play behind the scenes.
So, what are the key takeaways? First, just remember that this struggle between efficiency and humanity is not new. It is the oldest story in management. Second, use this history as a lens. It gives you a bigger perspective on today's management trends, whether it's a new software or a wellness program. And finally, recognize that your own job, your team, your company, they're all products of this long, ongoing battle. These forces are shaping your career right now. And that leaves us with one final question for you to think about. Look around at your own job, your own team, your own company. Right now, in your world, which side is winning, the machine or the people?